What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Grizzly Tales.
Grizzly.
I'm your co-host, Patrick Cloud.
And I'm Persephone.
And we getting hella grizzly.
Yeah, we got some nastiness for you today.
It's nasty?
It's nasty.
All right. Well, I guess our tale for the day, usually it's us pulling up with one each.
Mm-hmm.
But today is on the longer side. This is one story, but apparently it's so nasty and so grizzly that it's gonna suffice.
I believe it will.
It's gonna suffice for the episode. This will be read by Persephone, and I have not heard this.
Right.
Did you read through the whole thing?
I've read the whole thing.
Okay, and your review is nasty.
Yeah, I feel like this was definitely a grisly tale.
All right. Well, apparently, this is called the Jayme Closs case. A chilling tale of murder, kidnapping, and escape in rural America.
You say rural 5 times.
Rural.
Say it 5 times fast.
Rural. I sound like I was spinning
like a dog
down.
in Scooby-Doo.
Sounds like I was spinning down into a whirlpool. All right.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad she escaped.
She did.
And I feel like rural America is where all the scary stuff
But it's
happens.
still some bullshit that happened in the meantime, and people did lose their lives in the process.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
let's
But
get
very
into the
titillating
grizzliness.
story.
It's titillating?
Titta, not titty.
Well, let's get into it.
Yeah. Okay. So, the Jayme Closs case, a chilling tale of murder, kidnapping, and escape in rural America.
Sorry.
Jake Patterson lasted only 2 days as a temp at the Saputo Cheese Factory in Almena, Wisconsin.
I think he got fired from a cheese factory?
A largely forgettable stint before a brief stop behind a school bus while driving to work on a desolate stretch of U.S. Highway 8. The chance encounter provided his first glimpse of a green-eyed, strawberry blonde middle school student who boarded the bus that October morning.
Uh-oh.
He didn't know her name, nor did he know who lived in the nearby squat ranch-style house with beige siding, set back from the rural Wisconsin road by a cluster of trees shedding golden leaves. She was a 13-year-old named Jayme Closs.
Uh-oh.
And the story of her parents' gruesome murders and her own kidnapping and escape after 87 days in captivity would soon grip the nation.
Shit. I don't like how they're using the word was. Uh-oh.
Behind the wheel of this old Ford Taurus, facing the taillights on the idling bus, Patterson's elaborate plot began to take shape. When it was over, he would face 2 charges of intentional homicide, along with kidnapping and armed burglary counts. He is being held on $5 million bail and hasn't entered a plea. Investigators said he provided chilling details of his crime in a lengthy confession, including his insistence he never would have been caught had he just planned everything perfectly.
So this story could have ended much worse.
It could have ended much worse.
But it was just
there's a slight light at the end of the tunnel. For one.
It's looking slight.
For one, he took his father's 12-gauge Mossberg shotgun, a fairly common weapon he believed would be hard to track. He grabbed a half a dozen shotgun shells, then put on gloves, wiped them down for prints. At Walmart, he picked up a black baklava. A black baklava. Balaclava.
I was about to say baklava is a dessert.
Balaclava.
Let's take a grizzly break and figure out what the hell that is. Balaclava. Oh,
It's
that's
a
a
covering.
Pooh
It's a face-
Shiesty mask.
Yeah.
That's the Pooh Shiesty.
He shaved his face and head so he'd leave no forensic evidence.
Smart.
At one point, he stole the plates from a parked car, then switched them with his own. He disconnected his car's dome light to help conceal his appearance. He cut a cord that could unlock the trunk from the inside. So therefore, you know how there's that safety cord that if for some reason you get locked in your trunk, you can pull it and the trunk opens. He cut that cord.
I did not know about that cord. Every car has that?
Yeah.
My car has that?
It should. Mm-hmm.
Lock me in there.
Okay. Say less. Patterson drove to Jayme's home in Barron, a northwestern Wisconsin city of 3,300 residents, about 90 miles east of Minneapolis. Cars in the driveway scared him away the first time. A night or two later, he aborted his plan after spotting lights and people in the house. On October 15th, though, he would not leave alone. He wore brown, steel-toed boots, a black jacket, and jeans. The mask concealed his round, bespectacled face.
Like he had freckles?
Bespectacled face? I'm not sure what the hell that is. Gloves covered his hands. The Taurus coasted into the Closs family driveway early that Monday morning with its headlights off.
Eesh.
Jayme was asleep in her bedroom when her dog, Molly, started barking. She got up, saw the car, and rushed to wake her parents. Her father, James, 56, headed for the front door. Patterson shifted into park, stepped out quietly, and walked to the red brick entrance stairs. Fallen leaves surrounded decorative pumpkins and a pair of blue lawn chairs.
Sounds beautiful.
It
I hate
does.
when murders happen in a serene setting.
Mm-hmm. Jayme and her mother, Denise, 46, took cover in the bathroom. They locked and barricaded the door with a cabinet drawer. Mother and daughter stepped into the tub and swung shut the shower curtains.
So how did they know it was smoke?
I don't know, but maybe
They knew him?
seeing there was a foreign car in your driveway
That late?
with no lights on that late.
I like how they immediately were like,
They said, no,
emergency.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, setting.
Behind the white blinds at a window to the left of the front door, Jayme Closs stood with a flashlight. "Get on the ground," Patterson hollered. Jayme Closs did not move. His flashlight illuminated the window.
So real quick, Jayme Closs is the father or the guy who
He's
came
the father.
through? So Patterson is the guy who was outside,
Mhm.
and he said, "Get on the
Get
ground."
on the ground, as
so
if
he must
he
have
was
had
a police officer.
Oh, but he probably had that chop on him then too.
Jayme Closs had a flashlight.
But the other
But
dude,
Patterson had the 12 gauge shotgun
Boom.
that
Yep.
we spoke about earlier. Patterson climbed the brick stairs and opened the storm door. He pounded on the wooden door. Jayme's father looked at him through a small wrought iron encased window pane in the middle of the door. "Show me your badge," Jayme Closs demanded, mistaking Patterson for a cop. He stared through the glass, down the chrome-plated shotgun barrel, and Patterson pulled the trigger.
shot him through the window door or the door window.
Mm-hmm.
He shot him through the door window,
Yep.
point blank with a shotgun.
Pow.
We just shot a shotgun.
Right. And you know how much force that had. Our shoulders
Yo.
were hurting afterwards. So if our shoulders were hurting, guess what that blast did to Jayme's father?
So
It's a
in
tragic
this,
scene.
sadly, in this case, not open. He was smart to not open the door,
Right.
and it's
For
still.
It still ended in his demise.
Yeah, shoosh. You gotta. I guess you gotta stand to the side of the door.
I mean, it seems like this guy was really on a mission to get to Jayme.
Oof.
The blast shook Jayme, who covered in the tub. She knew her father was dead. Her mother dialed 911 on her cell phone. It was about 12:53 a.m. when the call came into the Barron County Dispatch Center, 3 miles from the Closs family home. No one spoke. Dispatchers heard screaming. One dispatcher returned the call and got Denise Closs' voicemail. Outside, Patterson tried to break open the door. He ejected a spent shell and unlocked a blast towards the doorknob. He pushed the door open and stepped over Jayme Closs' body. A flashlight in hand, Patterson stalked the rooms. One door wouldn't budge.
Bathroom door.
He checked the rest of the house, vacant. He returned to the bolted door. He couldn't kick it open, so he rammed it with his shoulder over and over.
Is that more force than kicking?
It could be in a different area. You know, you using with kicking, you're just using your leg. With your shoulder, you're using your whole body.
Right.
So maybe.
But it's like higher up than the lock itself.
But you're still using more force when you use your whole body versus just your leg. He couldn't kick it open. He rammed it with his shoulder over and over. The drawer. It took 10 to 15 blows from the upper half of his 6-foot, 215-pound frame before it split in two. He ripped down the shower curtain. Jayme Closs clung to her daughter in what the intruder would describe as a bear hug.
Intruder said that?
Yeah, remember he
he had a confession.
Yeah, he confessed to this.
Damn.
He handed Jayme Closs duct tape and ordered her to cover her daughter's mouth. When she struggled, Patterson rested his weapon on the sink and did it himself. He also bound.
The moment. That was the moment, if any.
He probably got frustrated and was like,
"I'll just do it myself."
I'll do it myself.
No, that's when you. Yep.
He also bound Jayme's wrists and ankles and helped her out of the tub. He pointed the shotgun at her mother's head and squeezed the trigger as he turned his head away.
He turned his head away?
He turned his head away. He couldn't stand to look at what he was doing. It was gruesome. This is a 12-gauge shotgun. So you pointed point blank at somebody.
He's doing it though.
Head,
you can't.
You blasting their brains out.
Yeah, so don't do it.
I mean, obviously, but at the same time, it's like
you gonna kill somebody like that and be squeamish.
His obsession with this little girl was so strong that he was willing to do anything to get to her.
I don't like how this is going to end. All right.
Patterson then grabbed the 5-foot, 100-pound teenager and nearly slipped on the bloodied floor on the way out. He dragged her across the yard and forced her into the trunk of the Taurus. In all, he spent 4 minutes at the house. 4 minutes.
The worst 4 minutes in history for this family.
I bet those 4 minutes felt like centuries.
Long as hell. But I mean, he was moving fast. He said, they said that the call came in and then they didn't even talk.
Right. This is the worst part to me.
Shit.
3 Barron County sheriff deputies were already on their way. Patterson removed his mask. The shotgun laid next to him. He pressed the gas pedal, but only 20 seconds into his getaway, he was slowing for blinking lights and blaring sirens. A deputy saw a Taurus yield to the passing squad cars. It wouldn't be the last time during Jayme's ordeal that law enforcement would encounter that car. But Patterson was ready for a gunfight, later telling investigators he most likely would have shot at the police if they'd stopped him.
So real quick, they didn't stop him.
They did not stop him.
Even though he had
Jayme in his trunk.
And he had the blinkers?
He slowed down so that they wouldn't be suspicious that he was the intruder that had been called.
So instead of peeling out,
right,
he drove regular.
Just drove regularly past them.
Horrifying.
In the trunk, Jayme heard the sirens. Then they faded away.
Oh, that's Jesus.
At the Closs family home, deputies discovered the bodies around 1 a.m. Jayme was gone. The deep drone of an Amber Alert soon buzzed the cell phones across the state. For 3 months, police and volunteers across northern Wisconsin searched for her. Detectives chased thousands of tips. The FBI offered a $25,000 reward for information. Her parents' employers added another $25,000. So there was $50,000 that was at stake for this girl's
return. Would they do this for a little black girl? I'm sorry. It's my thought every time. This is still horrible, but...
Would they do this for a little black girl? I haven't really heard of it much. But maybe they have. These are small towns, so, you know, these are things that we haven't heard of. So hopefully they would. Jayme's photos circulated on posters. Strangers attended her parents' funeral. Neighbors gathered at the events in her honor. Relatives appealed to the public for information about where she could possibly be. Jayme, we need you here with us to fill that hole we have in our hearts, her aunt Jennifer Smith said in a message released by relatives.
Damn.
We all love you to the moon and back. The whole time, Patterson was holding Jayme in a cluttered single-family home near a tiny and heavily forested town of Gordon, population 650, just 70 miles north of where she lives.
70 miles. Damn.
That's quite a
It's a trek.
A sign atop the front door greets visitors to the beige and brown 2-bedroom home set on a 2.6 secluded acres Patterson's Retreat, it reads.
Ugh.
In the basement fireplace, he'd burned her clothes, the duct tape, and his gloves. He'd had Jayme change into his sister's pajamas. He was surprised to find no blood spatter on his boots or clothing.
I wouldn't trust it. I'd still burn them.
Right. Patterson forced Jayme to stay under his twin-size bed, shutting her in with bags, laundry bins, and barbells when visitors arrived or he left the house.
Under the bed?
Under the twin-size bed.
That's where she slept?
That's where she stayed when visitors came.
What
or when he left the house. When his father came on Saturdays, he turned up the bedroom radio to muffle her movements. He said he kept her in line by yelling and hitting the walls, especially the 2 times he noticed she tried to get out from under the bed. He repeatedly warned her that bad things would happen to her if she tried to come out. During the outburst, Jayme said Patterson struck her really hard on her back. She sometimes stayed under the bed as long as 12 hours with no food, water, or access to the bathroom.
Damn.
But 2 weeks after the kidnapping, he put the weapon away. Patterson later told detectives he believed he had gotten away with his crimes. Perhaps it was this sense of confidence and accomplishment that led Patterson to apply for a nighttime warehouse job at a liquor distributor on the morning of January 10th, 87 days after Jayme's abduction. I'm an honest, hardworking guy, he wrote under the skills heading his resume.
Ugh.
Not much work experience, but I show up to work and I'm a quick learner.
This just shows you do not know who the hell people are out here.
That morning, Patterson had told Jayme he was going out for a few hours, and Jayme made a decision. She'd be caged no longer. She shoved the bins and weights away from the bed. Then she crawled out from the 2.5 feet that separated the mattress from the cold floor.
Damn.
Freedom at her grasp. She unlocked the front door and stepped out into an unfamiliar, snowy landscape wearing only pajamas and her captor's sneakers on the wrong feet.
It was snowing?
It was snowing.
Wait, they was on the wrong feet?
On the wrong feet. She wore his shoes on the wrong feet.
So she couldn't have switched them? Or they were just too...
Shit, I don't give a fuck. If I just need to get out, I don't care. I'm just putting these shoes on and I'm getting out.
Oh, that's what they meant. I thought she meant that they been on their feet.
No, she put his shoes on the wrong feet.
Oh, just to get out there.
To get out.
Yeah, for sure.
Jean Nutter was walking her dog near her driveway around 4 p.m. when she spotted a blonde-haired girl alone without a coat or gloves in the January chill. Nutter doesn't usually visit her cabin in the winter, but on this day, she was there. Did she run away? Nutter asked herself of the teenager. Did somebody dump her off here? The girl came closer. I'm lost and I don't know where I am and I need help, the teen said. Nutter recognized her face, maybe from the flyers or the countless television news stories.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Jayme, said the girl, frightened but calm. Nutter knew that name.
Oh, she said, I'm Jayme, like she knew.
Like she
knew about the
she
manhunt.
probably knew people were looking for her.
Yeah.
Kristen Kacinskas heard pounding on her door. Her neighbor stood outside with a skinny girl with unkempt hair and oversized sneakers. This is Jayme Closs, Nutter told her. Call 911 right now. Inside, fear crept over Nutter. What if the kidnapper comes back looking for Jayme?
Mm-hmm.
Get a weapon, she told Kacinskas. The women dialed 911 as Kacinskas' husband stood guard at the front door with a gun. Douglas County 911, a dispatcher answered. Hi, I have a young lady at my house right now, and she said her name is Jayme Closs, Kacinskas said. Have you seen her photo, ma'am? Yes, it is her. 100% think it's her. Nutter soon took the phone. She said Jayme didn't know where she was and had told them that a young man named Jake Patterson had killed her parents and kidnapped her. Nutter said he lived a few doors down from her cabin. We're kind of scared right now because he might come, Nutter said. But the dispatcher was still stuck at the start asking, and she said, I am Jayme Closs? Yes, Kaczynska said. She said, he killed my parents and I want to go home. Help me.
Send a car.
Right.
This is a manhunt. What is she doing?
Catching on to the panic, the dispatcher assured the women authorities were on their way. Ma'am, my deputy, she wants you to know to lock the doors and don't let the dogs out or anything. Just everybody stay inside until I can get the deputies there. Are they close? Nutter said. We're nervous. Deputies pulled up to the house just before sunset at about 4:43 p.m. But even then, Nutter couldn't trust that they were safe. We need to get them in, right? She asked over 911 line. Just then, a deputy ferrying Jayme away from the Kaczynska's home spotted a red vehicle, a Kia or a Ford, approaching from the other direction. Jayme couldn't say whether it was her abductor, but the deputy alerted her colleagues. Patterson by now had restored the original plates to his car. A license plate checked by the police showed the vehicle was registered to someone by the surname Patterson.
Ooh, he switched the plates back? Interesting.
Mm-hmm. He thought he got away with it.
Oh, that's
it
right.
had
He
been
got comfortable.
87 days. So he was like, okay,
That's
I
some
can get back
months.
to regular. Mm-hmm. An officer saw a male driver alone in the car and followed it past the house they'd soon come to learn had been Jayme's secret prison. Two sergeants stopped the tourist. One ordered the driver to put his hands up and then open the door. Jake Patterson identified himself. He said he knew what this was about. I did it.
He said, I did it?
I did it.
Well, shit. Your prisoner escaped and cops show up? Shoot. But imagine they were just like, we were just going to say you need to move your car, but
Right.
You did what?
So this was a gruesome grisly tale of
Listen.
the murder of her parents with a point-blank 12-gauge shotgun to the head.
I had my breath held the whole story. I'm so glad that he was just hitting the walls when she was the prisoner. I thought it was going to be some terrible, terrible
I
stuff.
was scared there was going to be a sexual aspect to it.
Because
But there may have been, and they just spared us this because I don't see why he would.
I don't see why they'd leave that out, though.
Right, but why would he kidnap a 13-year-old girl and leave her
Right.
under the bed for 87 days?
Well,
and
that's the
just
scary
not
part
fear?
is like this all started from just a creep seeing a girl, seeing a little girl, and then all of that happened. So, I mean, like you said, we don't know what really happened, but I'm very, very glad that in this report,
I'm
you know,
okay
there
with
wasn't
sparing
any-
us the details on this. If there was a sexual aspect, I honestly don't want to know about it
Hey,
because that would just take this to another level. That
horrifying.
It's
Yeah.
horrifying.
No,
I
that's-
mean, it's just like they knew something was wrong from the jump when he just pulled in the driveway and they're like, "Oh, bolt the door and get in the
Right.
bathtub and close the curtains."
Yeah, that was. It seemed like the emergency response was very, very immediate. So you know, I don't know if they knew this person, or I guess they wouldn't have. You know, but
No,
um,
he saw her. It seems at the bus stop.
it just seemed so random. And to be
He
honest,
followed her.
that's why my to me, this one of the scariest thriller / scary movies to me is The Strangers. Have you ever seen that movie?
Mm-mm.
It's literally just about a family that was at a cabin in a remote place, and some people with masks showed up and just killed them.
Oh, I know what you're talking
And at
about.
the end, they were just like, we just did this because y'all were home. And in your mind,
Wow.
you're always thinking murder is for a reason or revenge or passion or whatever. But it's the random ones that are scary because it's like, it can just happen and you have no idea why.
You know what the crazy part about this story? I mean, there's multiple crazy parts about this story, but it was just that, you know, he went there, he saw that there were people there. It scared him. And he's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't do this. But then it was like the obsession was so strong. That desire for her was so strong that he was like, I just can't do this anymore. I don't give a shit about who's home. I'm going to get this girl.
He had to. And even him turning away from the gunshot that he was doing, the crime he was doing, he couldn't even look, just showed how much he had to do this to the point where he was just like it seems like if you have that horrible urge to do anything with a child, if it comes to killing somebody or breaking in, it's something like you would hope that they would just be like, well, I'm just not going to do it.
Right.
But he would rather kill the parents and kidnap and just completely alter his life. We don't know what he was doing before this.
He said he was willing to shoot at the police. That's how strong
he was like, this has to happen.
Obsession was with her,
which is why it is strange that they just made it seem like her prison time was just regular.
Under the bed when we know there was more.
But who knows? You know, it seems like they
shielded us, and I
don't
appreciate
know.
The
shield. They were as gruesome as possible with the parents. So unless they were just like, I'm pretty sure people can take murder better than other things.
I think when it comes to any type of like pedophilia and sexual aspect, it can really like turn people's stomach. And I think they just shielded us.
What's the website?
That. Yeah, amp.cnn.com.
I would like to think CNN gives the real raw, but it is a very mainstream platform. It doesn't make
sense to me that she would be under the bed all this time and he just wanted to sit there and have conversation.
I think that with sick people, you never know. Maybe this is just me being hopeful. What kind of
conversation you having with a 13-year-old girl?
I don't know the level of this type of sickness.
I've just studied this shit and I already know.
I don't.
Unfortunately.
If they didn't say it, then I don't have to think about it. But we got some good news.
That story made me thirsty.
We got it on a better note.
Okay,
on a better note, so we can end this with some damn positivity.
I need to hear it because that was a long story of debauchery and treacherousness.
So there was a viral TikTok about an 82-year-old man that worked at Walmart.
Oh.
And ever since the video went viral, people raised more than $140,000 to help him retire. This is a Navy veteran. He looks very, very like a sweet old man.
Sweet old man, yeah.
And it really showed the power of the internet. It says, thanks to a viral TikTok, a GoFundMe raised more than $140,000, allowing a Navy veteran who works at Walmart to retire. Butch Marion of Cumberland, Maryland.
Wait, his name is Butch?
Butch. Old Butch.
Oh, Butch.
He is headed to kick off his retirement by visiting family in Florida. Isn't that just a little heartwarming?
That's very nice. I appreciate that. I really like how social media kind of, when they hear stories like that, they kind of take it on on themselves and say, you know what? Well, if your company's not going to do it, we're going to do it.
Companies never do it. I think that's the internet's not all bad. It's
not. There are definitely some GoFundMes that have come from like some really cool stories about company debauchery.
The internet got companies in line because before it was just like you had bad customer service, like what you gonna do? But through the power of Yelp and being able to put your experience on Twitter
and cell phones,
tell everybody about it.
Camera phones.
It's accountability. They're like, yeah, if I do this to you isolated, you can't do nothing. But if everybody knows about it, we gotta make a statement to show face. That story was it was a lot, and it was longer. I'm just gonna give another little stat.
A little light at the end of the tunnel.
Just a quick little stat,
okay,
to make sure that our people are feeling better by the end of this. This is huge. The U.S. cancer death rate has fallen 33% since 1991.
Wow, 33%.
Things are getting
that
better.
Is a huge chunk.
I wish it was 100 because cancer is
but let's not push it so we're not like I Am Legend.
What?
I said let's not push it so we don't end up like I Am Legend.
I
remember at the beginning,
know what that means.
I Am Legend, they had said they had the cure for cancer.
Okay.
So But then everybody turned into these zombies.
Well, it says that the decline in deaths is attributed to advances in treatment, earlier detection of cancer, which is huge, and fewer smokers. Cigarettes.
Yes.
Cigarettes have taken a plunge, and I'm so happy.
I'm so happy. Cigarettes that's one of my
turn-offs.
that's my red flag. Like, if I see a guy smoking a cigarette and I'm dating him, that date's no more.
I smoked cigarettes when I was in school for jazz. When I was a jazz musician, I smoked cigarettes, and it was disgusting. It made me.
It's disgusting.
It made me sick because I was on the way to a shoot in the morning, and I was smoking a cigarette, and I was just completely disgusted.
Yeah,
it was so early, and I was just like, "This is dumb."
So when I was in elementary school, I went over a friend's house, and I spent the night. And my mom, she had never let me spend a night over anybody's house. This was the first time I spent a night over someone's house. My mom parked outside of that house. She slept in the car outside of that house.
Okay.
While I slept there. Her mom, the girl's mom, was a smoker.
Okay.
She smoked cigarettes. When I say I got so sick, because her mom smoked in the house, I got so sick from being in that house from the cigarette smoking. I told my mom, I was like, she smoked cigarettes. It was just like
she was already
cigarette
ready to
after
pick you
cigarette after cigarette. And when I got sick, my mom, she felt so bad. She felt so bad that she was already there. Stay at someone's house, but she was outside. So I was inside. I was staying at my friend's house. You know, it was a sleepover.
But if you wanted to go home, she was right there.
If I wanted to go, but she didn't know anything because there wasn't no cell phones when I was in elementary school.
Oh, so when you called her, she missed the call at the house?
No, when it was time for me to go home, I was sick. Like the next day.
Oh, okay.
It was the next morning when she came to pick me up. I was sick, and I was really, really, really sick. And I've never tried a cigarette in my entire life because of that.
You got to get grossed out early.
And so just like, I'm so happy to hear that people, because I dated a guy once and I saw him smoke a cigarette, but he was really trying to fight that. And so he just like used the vapes to try to, but he ended up like vaping all day long. And I'm like, bruh, like, if you gonna switch off of this, like, you gotta chill. So, but just to hear that and know that people really are switching off of cigarettes is just like the best news that you could give.
I feel that. Yep. That's just some good news because, we have to end these things like this.
Yeah. Yes, for
sure. Before this good news segment, it was just like, all right, well, I guess thanks for watching this horribleness. But appreciate the story. That was insanely crazy. I'm glad the girl's all right. Regardless of what they left out of the story, I'm glad she's all right.
Prayers to her and condolences to the loss of her.
You're never going to be all right after something like that. Yeah. No. But this has been another episode of Grizzly Tales. We will see you on the next horrible story that we can find.
See you next time.
Later.
Bye.
All right. More true crime.
More.
Why not? This is still in the Thanksgiving Day vein. I like this article a lot because of the name. 5 notorious crimes committed on Thanksgiving Day, and the title is No Thanks.
No thanks.
No thanks.
Yikes.
So,
you know what's crazy about true crime? True crime. Well, that's the given. But there's so many stories that we could probably share a story per day and never run out of true crime stories.
True crime is an endless well.
Yes.
I wish paranormal stories were like that. It seems like there's 100 good ones and the rest are just kind of like something moved.
But there are so many paranormal stories that probably don't even get out there because they feel like no one will believe them and they don't want to look crazy.
They don't report. I mean, all mine. None of mine are in the news.
None of mine are either. I've had conversations with friends and just like in groups of, parties of people talking about hauntings that they've experienced that will never see the light of day on.
Well, true crime has to be in the news because it was a crime.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, hauntings, unless somebody died or unless it's a famous case,
Right.
Unfortunately, we don't get to hear about them. Although, if we could find maybe like a Reddit or like a thread system that's
Mm-hmm.
not like creepypastas of people's personal hauntings, that would be fun. Because those don't be in the news. Everybody knows about
Right.
the ones in the news, but we can find out.
We might have to put
Personal.
out an APB ourselves. I would like to tap in with some people that could directly tell us that maybe if we had questions, could get answers.
Tell us your paranormal stuff. ASAP.
We want to know.
ASAP. I think they should send to one place because people have been saying we have threads, we have this, and that. So maybe Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if
I
you
can do
message us
Twitter.
on Twitter or add us on Twitter.
Yep.
So we can get a good little collection together and we'll shout you out.
Yes, absolutely.
This first story is crazy. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You doing the Omima Nelson?
Yes.
Since that's your great grandmama.
Okay. The model who killed, castrated, and ate her husband for Thanksgiving ate him.
She ate the dick.
More than the dick. She ate that girl. No.
She's a glizzy gobbler.
A busy gobbler.
A glizzy gobbler.
I said busy for body.
Yeah, but she actually gobbled the glizzy in this.
Did she?
She castrated her husband. She ate that glizzy.
Well, who's
Probably
to
put
say
some mustard on it.
Maybe she threw the glizzy away and ate the rest of the body.
Oh, because she did cut it off and then eat her husband. So maybe she was like, not the dick.
Right, because maybe the reason she killed him, I don't know, but
Small
I'm
dick.
guessing, no, I didn't think
Bite-sized.
that. No, I thought maybe he may have had like a mistress or something and she found out.
So
and
you
she
wouldn't eat the
said,
dick
"Well,
if it was cheating? You'd eat the rest just.
the
The rest of
dick
the body
is-
cheated too.
The dick is the culprit. It's a problem.
But the rest of the body cheated.
Yeah, but the rest of the body wasn't inserted into the other
Or was
person.
it? Maybe she was a human bowling ball. That's how I bowl. I use these three. What fingers do you use? These three? Yep.
I
always
like
bowl with
this.
these. The shocker.
Mm-hmm.
The shocker ball. All right, let's hear about this dick-eating murderer.
Wow. You just come out the gates with it.
Mm-hmm.
On Thanksgiving Day, 1991, Egyptian-born fashion model Omima Nelson, 23, repeatedly plunged a pair of scissors into the chest and stomach of Bill Nelson, her 56-year-old pilot husband. Damn, she was 23, he was 55, he was 56.
I like how they threw his job in there, too. Pilot husband.
Pilot. He gives him a little bit of decency. Then she reached for a clothing iron. As Bill flailed, Omima pummeled him to death with the iron until the heavy object actually broke in her hand.
Like a heating iron?
Imagine the force it takes to break an iron.
That's sharp. Those are sharp on the sides, too.
She was full of rage. Omima unleashed her fury, she claimed, over the sexual terror and other abuses to which Bill had subjected her. Acts that reportedly including him pimping out his glamorous bride to kinky old creeps in exchange for rent, cash, and in one case, a car.
Oh.
When Bill finally expired, Omima butchered his body on the kitchen floor. She then boiled his hands in oil to remove fingerprints and stuck his head in the freezer so that she could later break out his teeth. In symbolic revenge, Omima made a point of castrating her husband as well.
Jesus Christ. So,
Man.
Okay,
she was
well-
cute too. She's pretty.
I like, Egyptian-born model. She's probably super bad. Well, I don't feel so bad for him.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm glad
either.
this wasn't some petty shit. She was getting pimped out for a car?
Right, that's horrible.
Like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's the trafficking industry is just
Right.
foul
I didn't know it
itself.
was your married wife, though.
But how do you even get into marrying a 56-year-old man at 23? Like,
Hey.
what?
with how this is looking, it might not. The marriage itself might not have even been
valid. She may have been like kidnapped or something. I mean,
I don't know.
Abducted.
I never heard of them marrying a trafficked human, but that is crazy.
Right. So I have more.
Oh, nice.
As Omima stuffed some body parts into trash bags and fed others down her garbage disposal, it must have occurred to her that she hadn't had anything to eat yet, and on Thanksgiving Day. According to the court documents, Omima told a psychiatrist she prepared Bill's ribs with barbecue sauce, put them in the oven, and then upon sinking her teeth into her dead husband's glazed flesh, declared, "It's so sweet." At the time of the alleged cannibalism, Omima and Bill had been married for less than 3 weeks. They had known each other for a total of 5
weeks.
That's what it says. Over the next few days, Omima enlisted a pair of ex-boyfriends to help her get rid of Bill's leftover remains. Their cover-up work did not prove to be impeccable. On December 1st, police got a tip about body parts being seen inside a parked car that belonged to Bill Nelson. The parts, of course, also belonged to Bill Nelson. Officers dropped by Omima's home to inform her of the discovery, and once there, found still more newspaper-wrapped pieces of Bill in the refrigerator.
Well,
they promptly arrested Omima for first-degree murder. Omima immediately claimed self-defense. She said that in addition to trading out her body, Bill was a BDSM enthusiast who routinely bound her against her will and raped her. She further claimed Bill had raped her on Thanksgiving morning and that she had feared he would kill her.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, shit. Orange County? This was out here? Orange County Deputy District Attorney Randy Pulowski countered that Omima was a scam artist who preyed on men, specifically using bondage sex games to rob them. At the time of the slaying, in fact, she faced 3 felony charges regarding a 1990 incident which she allegedly tied up an ex, slapped him around, and demanded money at gunpoint.
What the fuck is happening?
She is wild. Remarkably, the Omima Nelson saga grew increasingly more sordid once it got to trial. First, Omima's interview with a psychiatrist came to light, in which she detailed putting on a red dress, red shoes, and a red hat before prepping and cooking Bill's rib meat. Upon digging in at the kitchen table, according to the doctor, Omima declared, "I did his ribs just like in the restaurant. It's so sweet. It's so delicious. I like mine tender," which means she probably baked them a little extra time because that's how to get up.
Right.
The psychiatrist asserted that Omima was in a psychotic state when she often ate Bill, and added that in 20 years of his practice, he had never experienced a conversation with a subject so bizarre and so psychotic. In turn, defense attorneys painted a horrifying, heartbreaking portrait of Omima's ordeal growing up in Egypt. As a child, she had been subjected to female genital mutilation, clitoral circumcision, and submitted herself to loathsome sexual humiliations in order to survive.
Clitoral castration? People are cutting off clits?
I wonder, is that necessarily cutting it off, or is that when they sew it up?
The clit? You could sew the clit? Like sewing the hood on?
Sew up the vagina.
Would that be clitoral castration, though?
You can't get fucked if it's
yeah,
sewed
but that's
up.
not the clit. I thought
You can't get fucked if it's sewed up.
I think that clitoral castration is exactly what it says. It sounds like that she. Okay,
Didn't she
so
have a big one? Because it gets worse.
You said a lot of stuff.
I did.
And I have a lot of questions. Because at first they made it seem like obviously he was very monstrous.
Mm-hmm.
He was clearly pimping her out. They've been married for 3 weeks. They knew each other for 5.
So that's
a very short amount of time. He was getting rent money. He was getting cash,
there wasn't even
a
enough
car.
time. I mean, there was enough time, I guess, to pay the rent.
He was okay. So on his side, let's break these characters down. On his side, he's a old man. He's a pilot, but he's also a creep. He pimps her out to his creepy old friends, gets money, gets a car, and even is into BDSM and rapes her while she's bound. But then it comes out on her side that she's, I guess, very bizarre. Also uses BDSM to rob men and control men, and she was doing some crazy stuff in the murder. Like, obviously, if you've gone through hell like that, the murder makes sense. The scissors, the beating him, but usually after their attacker is dead, it's like, okay. But she was saving his head in the freezer to break the teeth out. Like, this was some ongoing stuff. And then after they were caught, she had leftovers in the freezer.
Yeah, she
liked it.
She left reality. Like, she really dove into some type of like sick fantasy of taking out all of her anger on the last person. Like, he was the one to push her to the point of having enough. I've had enough.
So you think this was all her snapping?
Yes.
I don't know. I think
she only knew him for 5 weeks.
But I think that I personally think that this is two crazy people. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if how they met was the BDSM thing, and that's how she got, because it seemed like she was doing some wild stuff too. She was before that, she was already facing 3 felonies. She was doing the BDSM robberies, and she was just seen as a strange person. So maybe that 5 weeks of abuse wasn't snapping, because she put on makeup to eat this nigga ribs and hickory smoked it.
I think she fully left reality. I think she like really like took on the role of, I am liberating myself of everything that's been done to me in the sickest way possible.
Oh, even including the childhood stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for
I'm
sure.
saying that plays a role in how sick some of the stuff that she does. But I think with this guy, he was the final. Yeah, he was the final person to do. He's not even the straw, because the straw is usually light. The straw is usually, I just left the glass on the counter, you know, and she's like, you left this shit on, you know. But he was definitely a boulder. You know, like, he was a boulder on her shoulders.
We were just talking about how good or bad human meat would be. She went for the ribs. She barbecued them. She said they were sweet.
Didn't I say I heard it would taste like barbecue? Everybody else said pork, but barbecue pork, maybe. You know?
I mean, those are the best type of ribs. That's crazy. Like, after they disposed of the body, she still had some in her freezer. The whole point of disposing of a body is to get rid of the evidence, but she had her ex-boyfriends taking everything. She was like, oh, wait, let me
And so they were eating it too.
I don't know. Let me save for some ribs. Let me grab a rib real quick.
What's taking her so? And why she put the body parts in the car that's visible to people? Like,
that
she
was a really
was
bad.
Fully like she didn't even have
cutting them up, boiling them.
Yeah,
just
she had it wrapped up in the newspaper, like
just to put it in the car and ditch the car. It must be harder to get rid of a body than we think. You'd think that you would always go towards nature, but you in Orange County, you can have access to the ocean, forests, all this stuff, and you just thought boiling the fingerprints off would do it.
Right, that was her only means of really, like.
Oh, that's why she was gonna knock the teeth out.
Yeah, for identification purposes.
Got it. I thought she was still mad.
I'm surprised she wasn't sick enough to just
get
some pliers.
I mean, who knows? The boyfriends that were down with
put the head in the freezer.
Boyfriends were like, I would have been like, nigga, what? You on your own.
But she already knew, because she was probably in that world dealing with some sick people.
That is insane. Wait, we got to finish the story.
Yeah. The defense also portrayed Bill Nelson as a sick sadist who tortured his wife sexually, physically, psychologically. When she adopted a kitten, for example, Bill allegedly pulled the animal from Omima's lap in a moving car and tossed it out the window. Adding to the sensationalism, the courtroom walls were lined with photos of Bill's deep-fried hands, frozen head, and skinned torso. She skinned him too.
Damn.
Yeah.
Deep-fried hands.
Upping the tawdry atmosphere even further, the #1 movie dominating pop culture at the time was the cannibal shocker Silence of the Lambs. A coincidence not lost in the media covering the case, who almost never failed to invoke the film's flesh-eating anti-hero, Dr. Hannibal Lecter. The jury had much to consider then when deliberations commenced on January 4, 1993. 6 days later, they came back and declared Omima guilty of second-degree murder. Jury foreman Famous Hook said afterwards, "It was a really tough decision. We couldn't come back with a first-degree murder verdict because we couldn't find the evidence. It wasn't there. It took us 6 days. We worked really hard." Superior Court Judge Robert Fitzgerald sentenced Omima to 27 years to life in prison. Since going away, Omima has vehemently denied eating bail. When she came up for parole in 2011, Omima insisted she was not a monster and pointed out that she had never hurt the man she was married while incarcerated, even though in the trailer where the couple had conjugal visits, there were knives in the kitchen. The parole board remained unimpressed. Omima is expected to serve the remainder of her term. 27 to life.
Well, that woman went through some things.
That is a terrifying story.
I mean, she was getting crazy things done to her in Egypt. Came out here. I'm assuming it continued because she was doing the whole BDS. To be honest, like, if she grew up in that environment, I see why she would tie niggas up and rob them, and you know what I mean? Like, that makes sense.
Right, because it kind of fits with the fantasy of what's happening in BDSM, right? There's a lot of that, the bondage, control, that disrespect, humiliation, pain. There's hitting. There's
that's how she got to America.
Mutilating. Some mutilation.
She could have been trafficked to America. That would explain why she would end up with a 56-year-old pilot that was immediately pimping her out, and then she was just like, eat enough.
Right.
That's fucking wild.
That was a wild story.
That was a whirlwind.
Yeah.
That was a whirlwind.
Keep pronouncing the H in whirl.
I think that was probably one of the wildest, just overall murder stories I've ever heard. Mm-hmm. But definitely the craziest Thanksgiving. She really, halfway through that murder, she was like, that was the crazy part I wanted to ask about. She didn't know she was a cannibal. She wasn't like, I'm going to kill him and eat him.
Right.
It literally said that while she was cooking, she realized she didn't eat today. So she was just chopping up, and she was just like,
she had meat
I'm
right in front
hungry.
of her. I'd like some ribs. It's Thanksgiving. Maybe where she was at. No, in Orange County, everything's open. I was going to say.
Oh, she couldn't Postmate.
Yeah. She couldn't Postmate. This was, didn't it say 1993 or something like that?
Oh. She could have ordered some pizza, some za. That would have been crazy.
She had the sauce right there.
The pizza sauce?
She had the meat. She had the sauce.
Why did she have the sauce, though?
The sauce, I was saying, was like blood. That was her sauce.
She used hickory.
Oh,
she actually barbecued it up.
Yeah, she sure did.
I wonder if that was just what she was going to, if the ingredients were out. It was Thanksgiving, so maybe she was about to cook.
If it's not first-degree murder, so they came to the conclusion that it wasn't premeditated. So I'm surprised she didn't get off completely. I'm surprised they went for second-degree murder. If they said it wasn't premeditated, and she talked about, being raped by him, being raped that morning, and this was like...
Right, Thanksgiving morning. So I'm assuming they weren't about to have a lovely meal anyway, right. So
I'm surprised she didn't get off, and it's not even getting off, but I'm surprised she didn't, be found not guilty by reason of insanity and then sentenced to...
It's kind of tough when there's leftovers in the freezer.
But that's what I'm saying. That's insanity to me. Leftovers in the freezer, his head in the freezer, body parts in the car. It sounded like she lost her shit. That's what it sounds like. And then the psychiatrist even deemed her to be pretty much out of her mind when she did this stuff. So if the psychiatrist
sounds like a crazy person,
yep. I would think that she would be sentenced to a mental institution for life.
Right.
Versus, especially when there's so much history like that.
Right. I feel like that would have been good for her, yeah. But prison?
That's
that's immediate clout in the prison yard, though. That's This dude who
Oh, yeah, they're not going to
stabbed.
mess with her. And she dressed in all red.
Oh yeah, the putting on the makeup before eating the ribs. She probably had a candle lit. She was probably so happy though. Like, think about it. Like, she just killed the shit out of this dude, and now she's about to eat him. She was like, "Let me put on my face."
Right.
Because
Yeah.
fuck this guy.
Yeah, and then to actually have people in your life that
We're down to help.
yes, that welcome this type of behavior.
It's a rough
is
call.
Wild as
Can you help me
fuck.
with these deep fried hands?
Right.
Also, I just ate some of him. You'd be like,
Imagine if I called you and I was like, Pat, I need your help to help me like deal with these body parts. If you want to eat some, like.
but there's
I got
levels. If you want to, you offered?
you. Right.
I got some leftover
I got
fingers.
some. They saved in the refrigerator. If you want to hit, I got you.
But there's levels to that because it's like, do you have somebody you can call to help you bury a dead body? That is
Right.
pretty base level. Like, sometimes, okay, one of your friends might kill somebody. Can they trust you to help get rid of it? But then there's layers under that.
Don't trust me.
The body is chopped up, and I did it. Whoa. I also ate some of it. Mm-hmm. I boiled the fingers off. Let's get you to jail. Let's get you to jail because me helping you with this is just it's
like there's no way out of this. What is the upside for me?
I have to process a lot going on with you.
Is there money involved? Like,
Yeah.
what's the benefit for me to get involved in this? I don't got nothing to do with that shit. Zero. I don't want these body parts. Like, I don't know what that nigga was
Let's
doing.
get you to jail. That's all I would say about that. Well, this was cool. I like this.
That was a
It's a doozy. It's a Thanksgiving doozy if I ever heard it.
most interesting. It's an interesting story. The mind works in mysterious ways.
Right.
I will say that.
I like us in the true crime space. I wanted to test this out. I liked it. This was fun.
I did too. This was good.
This was fun.
I liked reading it, even though it was sick. I don't like.
Well, you were the one that caught
happens.
the ghost, so I think you're gonna be our informer.
But I'm not that huge of a believer in stuff.
Right, but true crime, that shit happened. What you just
that-
read
yeah.
happened. His body is probably still. Well, no, this was a minute ago.
I
It was
wonder
93.
what.
Well, I mean, his head
She
in the freezer.
ate him the same day. I wonder where do you think his soul went?
In her stomach. Whoa! What the? Where am I?
Am I?
Is this hell? And you hear that?
Is that my goddamn rib?
Maybe. Oh, next to him, he just sees it all plopping. What the?
Where am I?
That's crazy. I mean, if ghosts are a thing, the ghost came out during the death, which means he could have watched that whole process. Like, damn, she really barbecuing my ribs right now. She putting on makeup, lipstick.
You know, he was like, I fucked with the wrong one.
And she was like, sweet. He was like, God damn.
I'm making as his soul is
I
like
met my
slowly
match.
like coming towards her. He kept trying to back
Hey. That's crazy. Maybe that sound is souls in your stomach.
Well, yours. That sounded like a burp.
It was half a burp.
Wow. Well, your stomach has made that sound, and so has mine. So,
Who you been eating? What glizzies have you been castrating and eating? After I hear the story, I do think she ate his penis, though.
I don't.
No. Oh, because
She
of the...
despised his penis.
Right. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
But them ribs, though.
See, them ribs.
But them ribs.
Bussin'.
All right, well, we don't have a name for this show, but that's been an episode of that.
True crime with Pat and Purr.
We'll keep brainstorming on it. We'll come back to you. This is
Tales of Crime by Pat Stephanie. Perceptric.
I don't have any suggestions. I don't like any of them that I'm hearing, but I was trying to bounce back and forth with you, but I don't have any. It's been a long day.
Yep.
All right. Well, this has been another episode of this show. I've been your co-host, Patrick Cloud.
And I'm Persephone.
We'll see you on the next This Show.
Bye.